That's James's breakfast. It's salad, romaine cucumber, shallots, yellow bell pepper, celery, and apples. I think that's it. And tomatoes. And then I made a sort of poor man's alfaghetti with rice and pizza sauce. And then I grilled some graffiti eggplant, and James will put ham parts on it, I guess. So he's going to talk more about Contract on America, and I'm going to talk about Logan Lucky and Getting to Know You.
Are we going to review Platoon eventually, or?
Oh, well, I was thinking you might want to go through that more. I don't know.
I will.
Because you fell asleep during it.
Well, isn't that kind of like the ultimate review? I fell asleep during it.
Well,
but I want to
so that's why I
cover it in something like detail. Yeah. But that is kind of like the preview or preliminary review. I fell asleep during it.
Yeah. So, as you can see, this has a lot of big stars in it. And
who are some
they
of them?
did all right. It was, what?
Who are some of the stars? Channing Tatum. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the guy with the ears sticking out.
He's talking about Daniel Craig.
That is Daniel Craig. There we go. So I don't see Channing Tatum there.
Right there.
Adam Driver. Okay.
He's in the Peabody T-shirt, and Adam Driver. That's that guy over there.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it also had what's her name? The ex-wife of Tom Cruise, Katie. What's her name?
Katy Perry? No.
No, what's her name? I don't know what it is.
Tom Cruise. Oh. What?
Katie Holmes.
Yeah,
so,
there we go.
Anyway, they did a good job. I was convinced that they were from Virginia. And I think this would appeal to a lot of people from Virginia and elsewhere.
Okay.
So
are we talking about like one of the most civilized politicians I've ever run across was actually from Richmond, Virginia. We ran when we did Crip Lake Trail.
Oh, yes,
I babysat his dog while
that's
he and his wife
nice
went on the last and dangerous part of the trail. And coming back, I chatted with him almost all the way back, and he was like a Democrat from the suburbs of Richmond. If you're watching, hey, that's one of the best walks I ever had, coming back, talking with him. So he was a pretty enlightened kind of individual and stuff like that. But so they're not all, like Richmond was the capital of the...
I wasn't meaning to say that.
Okay.
I was just meaning to say that, there's like NASCAR sort of thing in here. My parents watched that.
I know.
They loved it. I'd come into the room and they'd act all sheepish, like it was some dirty secret or something that they loved watching it.
A guilty pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I caught them having
sex or something. I never would have taken your dad for something.
I know. Well, neither of them. But they loved it.
Oh, I never would have taken you, even less.
So no, I'm not trying to say anything about that.
Good.
They certainly thought, oh, gee, this is embarrassing for us, and a lot of people would. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. Whatever.
I watched a little bit of Formula One racing, and when I was a kid, I liked watching the Indianapolis 500. I never got much into NASCAR or stock car or whatever it's called.
Yeah, they preferred the, I don't know what it's called, the one in France stuff? Where it went around. Yeah. There were two people. They liked the two people in the car, so there was the I think, they kind of thought, oh, that's like us, because my mom, she loves watching the
Great Race or
Amazing Race or something like that. What's it called? I think it's Amazing Race, isn't that it?
Something
like that.
Yeah, I actually like watching
and she said to me, that we should do that, and to me, and I'm thinking maybe before my back went, but I don't know. Um,
But she's much more adventuresome than you
she
or I
is. She's a
combined.
very
Speaking of
adventurous
Crip
sort of
Lake,
woman.
she went
Yes.
up and down
In like
without
little
holding onto the
ballerina
cable.
shoes without the cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was so
anyway,
scared for her. I made sure, like the cable kind of goes around a corner.
Yeah.
Coming down, I made sure that she got around the corner before I started coming down. I came down behind her because I didn't want to be, horrified in a horrified fashion, just fixating on her and whatever might happen.
so
to
really
her,
my back has to improve just so that I can take Mama on the full Triple Crown, so we could do all of those together, because she would actually love Akamina and stuff, which I don't know if I pronounce it right. James says I pronounce it wrong.
Well, they
That's
say
okay.
Akamina, but Akamina would be the proper way. It would be an
I
indigenous
don't
word.
know.
And there's no way
Anyway.
you'd spell an indigenous word like with an I and say I. Right.
Okay.
So you're saying it correctly. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's just where the accent comes, and they put the accent on the Akamine, as I recall. So that's someone from Waterton, so
Okay.
pronounces it that way. But I'm saying Akamina. I don't care what they say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, in this story, it's well, I shouldn't give it away. It's worth watching if you like it says it's from the director of Oceans 11, 12, 13, and Magic Mike. If you like those movies, you'll probably like
man.
this one.
Have we watched any of those? You've got
Yeah,
up
and actually I like this one more than those. So
to... Okay.
there you go. I shouldn't really tell you anything about it. You can kind of guess what it's... You see a race car here and you see a whole bunch of money. You pretty much know what it's going to be about.
That's
you don't
awesome.
need me to...
You get
need to
two
tell
guys
you.
with jug ears, Channing Tatum and Daniel Craig. I didn't know he had jug ears, but there you go.
Anyway, at first I was liking this one. It's made in Canada, and I didn't recognize any of the actors in it, which, I mean, usually you see something made in Canada and you recognize quite a few, but I didn't.
Well, nowadays, it used to be back in the day, you'd get a
You'd recognize
national
everyone.
film.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, oh, yeah.
well, it depends. I mean, if they were trying to be artsy, you might not recognize anyone. They might just be out of not art school, but drama school. What do they call it? Performing arts school or something. I got it almost right with art school.
Anyway. For a while there, I was liking the movie, and I was saying, oh, this is kind of going somewhere, whatever. Eventually, I just didn't. Eventually, it was like, oh, it's boring. When is this night going to end? Like, it starts out, it's a couple who they're not a couple, they're just two separate people. They meet at the check-in desk at their hotel that they're staying at, and one guy was from that town that they're staying in from a long time back, and the other person, she's there for a different reason. But anyway, they end up getting to know each other over the space of a day. So this follows them for the day, getting to know each other. And
it looks as though they really get to know each other. Is that them?
No, that's not them.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, it's
Yeah, it's not them. There you go.
no,
Okay.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing the woman would react this way, given who her character is. But
So it's kind of Hollywood, even though it isn't Hollywood.
it's sort of, yeah, it's a little bit too much. And I have a hard time believing the guy would act this way too. But maybe not, given how he acted when he was a teenager. So maybe that's realistic, his character. Anyway, and doomed to repeat. But I don't know. It was off-putting to me. I didn't, and honestly, kind of boring. After a while, it's like, oh, I'd rather just be in my hotel room alone than having to watch these people in this hotel or whatever, or outside the hotel. Anyway, James is going to talk to you now. How do you like the poor man's alphagetti?
Well, the way you fixed it up with the eggplant, it actually livens up the eggplant. Was that eggplant? It was eggplant.
Yeah.
I just woke up, so
Yeah.
I just woke up after I was napping after waking up, so I kind of extra dopey. I'm always dopey, of course.
Yeah.
That's what you.
It was half a graffiti eggplant. There's lots more of the rice and pasta sauce too.
So I'm kind of enjoying it, and that's why I'm delaying
Review
launching
stuff.
into
Yeah.
David Scheim's magnum opus on Contract on America. I love the title. He came up with it before I did. I was using it to apply to Newt Gingrich's so-called contract with America. It was a contract on America, but wait until Donald Trump gets re-elected. He'd be the first president to do that without being re-elected consecutively. It happened before. A guy called Grover Cleveland. He was a Democrat back when the Democrats were
Conservative.
and, by all accounts, I guess he was kind of incompetent. Well, not all accounts, but I don't know too much about America in that era. So that'd be kind of like, I think the last time he was elected was, well, I think he served into the 1890s, so that was around, it was around the time my granddad was a young pup. My granddad, I think, was born in 1882. So a memorial generation or whatever, like he told me stuff that would go back into the 1880s, just a little bit after the Civil War in the United States ended. I was going to say this.
No roots yet.
You're trying to. What is that you're trying to?
Coleus. I just stuck it in there because somebody ripped the head off one of my sunflowers a while ago. Just, I don't know, something to do, I guess.
It wasn't just one. I think you said
well,
there
there
were
was a few, yeah.
at least two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but
you've
that
been
one
saving
was,
the one
it looked
here,
quite alive still. So I picked it up and I stuck it in a bowl a while ago, and now it looks like I should probably pitch it in the yard. But
the sunflower.
anyway, yeah, it's not looking great.
It still looks pretty good.
Okay, I'll leave it for a few days.
Yeah, exactly right.
But anyway, the Coleus I found broken off here. I don't know how it broke off.
Was it more of an accident, you think?
Yeah, I think probably one of us broke it on the way in or by or whatever. So I found it on the deck and I thought, oh, okay, so I'll stick it in the water and see. It was pretty wilty, but now it's perked up. It's all
it's looking pretty proud
turgid
and all that kind of stuff.
So I don't know. I think it might root.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Because all of these plants that you see, the begonia and geraniums, impatiens, and coleus, they all are houseplants.
Yeah.
So you can bring them when you get them at the garden center in the spring and grow them in your yard. You can bring them in the fall, and these can be your houseplants. You don't need to get different ones.
Of course, that could have been snapped off